just receiving your Moon in Me subscription and the guide for this new moon that is sitting with Virgo, but it's also bringing this awakening and this reminding energy that one, it's a super moon, and that this is a powerful time to just bring in what it is that you're wanting to create because you want to create it. So let's start here right now. Super moons, of course, always expand. So when I say go in and get your Moon in Me notebook, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Why? Because it's more of a resource guide than a book to read. And if you go to the super moon, and if you go to, obviously it's a full moon, right? But, I mean, it's a new moon. But if you go to here where it says, what is a super moon? It's very simple. You want to go in is when a full moon or a new moon is closest to the earth, it's also deemed as a super moon. So everything is just expanding, and it brings in this enlightenment and awareness to what your emotional well-being or your emotional state. So a lot of people get confused of why, okay, well, I'm just emotional. Well, what does that mean? It means that you are triggered and you're far more aware that you are having these emotions that are carrying you deeper. When was the last time that you were the happiest ever and you turned around to yourself and you said, I am so emotional, right? But yet happiness is an emotion that you share. So let's just go back and let me share with you, okay, that energy runs high during a super moon. You may feel more emotional, tuned in, and impacted by the energy bursts running through its waves of frequency through your bodies. So there's more there, of course, to read. But what I want to leave you with is that this super moon is the time for you to tune in and connect, not to the rain that's falling on you or passing through you, but the opportunity to be just in the presence of your senses, okay? So if you are vibrating and if you're connected right now and you're feeling angry or distorted, or if you're feeling happy and you are feeling that you're not getting there or you're nearly there or whatever it is, it's a time that you just want to sit down and you say, okay, what is it that I want? Because Virgo, where Virgo sits in the zodiac sign, Virgo's coming with a very, very, very strong influence right now. And so, if you know anything about Virgo's energy, all right, Virgo's I am presence is all about serving energy. It's actually I serve. So, if you're not a Virgo, how does this relate to you? Well, you've got some Virgo somewhere in your birth chart. And so how does that influence you? Well, whatever your I am presence, like for example, I create is part of the Leo I am presence, means that I'm creating. So Virgo is telling me right now, knock knock, is what you are creating, is it serving you, Vanda? Does it serve you to create the things that you are creating? And I think to myself, and I have to answer them, and it's either yes or no. There's no maybe, it could later, or whatever. And that's where you want to understand, okay, so if the new moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is all about structure, organization, being perfectly on time, being things placed, having the things organized in a systematic flow, being logical minded, having a routine, all these wonderful things that Virgo brings to our plate to support us being masterful, efficient, diligent, what's the word that I want to use when it comes to detail orientated, so that you're able to get where you want to go and connect dots, dot the I's, cross the T's, and so forth. Well, how does this help you right now? Well, it helps you because one, this energy is here. So what happens if you're not detail orientated and organized? Well, there's the shadow side of Virgo as well that's gonna go and force you to get triggered. Are you catching yourself being judgmental? Are you catching yourself being over perfect? Are you catching yourself being very linear? Are you catching yourself being competitive with your fellow colleague? Are you catching yourself being competitive with feeling the lack, feeling the struggle, feeling all of that. Those are great emotional signs, because the supermoon right now is expanding and magnifying what you are carrying. And this is so wonderful, because the more you do Moon and Me, the more you actually understand, wait a minute, I am the master of my life. I am creating all that I am experiencing. I have these lunar cycles that come in every month to support me in awakening and helping me raise my awareness of how I'm feeling. Because it's how you are feeling that matters. If you're not feeling good, well, then you've got to get yourself to feeling good. But what happens if you're not feeling good because you're sad and you just can't shake it off? Well, what do you do then? You submit and surrender to sadness, or do you go through the process and go to the process of just writing out what your sadness is and burning it and feeling some kind of relief after that? Or do you take a salt bath and feel, oh my goodness, I wasn't even sad at all, I'm actually happy? Or do you just go through the process of, you've gone through the process and you go, you know what, I am sad. And it's okay to feel sad, but it's not okay to stay sad. And that's where you've got to know the inner balance, and the ray of light that comes to you is discernment. And I talk about discernment, and I talk about intuition, and I talk about these rays of light that give you all the opportunity to know who you are. Because you're not the same as your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, and all these wonderful and different people that you choose as your family or your friends or your social circles. And yet, the more you understand who you are able to share that and understand, okay, not only do I know who I am right now, but I'm starting to become aware of who I am. But now I'm starting to understand that in the cycle right now, where there is a new beginning, where there is a new moon, and the opportunities you have for me to create what I really want, this is the moon that I want to tell you and inspire you and trigger you and poke you and remind you and shake you and say, hey, go do some work. Why? Because if you tune in and if you stay focused and if you read this, and if you don't have to fully understand it or get it, because you already do. Everything that you already know is already inside of you. Everything that you want is already created from your desires within you. You've just got to be connected to that. But this is the moon that's going to say, I have that immortal, forever love that exists between me and you and the whole planet, all right? And I'm coming in to let you know that whatever you do right now, and whatever you start creating, doing the ripple effect, oh, my ear's itchy, okay? Whatever you do right now, I will be listening, thank you. I'll be listening, right? For my inner guidance, because whatever I'm asking for, I'm already receiving. And this is the prayer that's part of the oracle cards that I've just introduced, okay? And if you've already got your oracle cards, go to the prayer, and it says, I am connected to my inner knowing. I am guided to receive everything that I ask for, and that's what these moon cycles are for. They're here to help you. These planets are coming in to help you. Help you do what? Be on your path, knowing that your influences are there to support you so that you can create what you want. Not to be the victim of circumstances. This is not a time to be a victim. This is not a time to be blaming even yourself. This is the time for you to know yourself. Get your reading. Use your notebook. The insight and the pulses of wisdom that Neptune, okay, the planet, the universal planet of love, is coming in this wave and supporting you so that you can love yourself, but also to love another when they're really irritating or frustrating you. How about that one? Have you done that one before? Can you do that? And how many times can you do it? And if you can't, use the tool that gives you access for you to do that more often than not, right? Because the shadow side of Virgo is the ultimate perfectionist, okay? The one that has to have everything perfect and unchangeable at that moment in time. There's no flexibility in that. It's got to be one way or the highway. That time's gone. You don't want to be in the shadows of Virgo or yourself or any other self. And the reason why is because we are at the most critical time in ever on the planet, that change is not only here, but it's evolving at a subsequential speed that it even, okay, that was fast. Why? Because your inner transformations are moving fast. Your acceleration is moving fast. What you used to ask for and get in the past used to take longer. Now it's happening quicker. Your thought and how you feel is spontaneous. So those gaps in time are actually not really there. Why? Because the speed of artificial intelligence, the speed of who we are and being, parallel and equivalent to the science and spiritual essence of who we are and the intelligence that we carry. I want you to understand that as you read this has been written from a place of love, to empower you, to enrich you, and to wake you up. So what if you don't understand it all? Okay, guys, so if you're going through your moon in me and you're not getting it, just pause, breathe, and connect your higher self, and your truth is there already. You'll get what you're meant to get. But if you do want to go deep and you want to understand a little bit more, because there is a very specific way that I do write, and the ones that are getting and doing the work and understanding it, I understand, okay, there it is. My work is not about, or rather, let me say it this way. Your work right now is not expressed in a way that it's grammatically correct, okay? So just flow with it. Read, pause, answer the questions. If you feel you want a little bit more, then schedule. Say, plan to have a Moon in Me buddy. Before we used to share Moon in Me buddies, and we say, well, we can't have someone that is questioning and not knowing enough of the work to be another Moon in Me buddy, because you won't go in and get there. Okay, Megan, this is you, and this is proof that I'm doing my Moon in Me, and I'm not answering you. I'm going to answer you as soon as we're done here. Okay, but all your calls are going to be answered. Everything's going to be answered here. What you want to do, just schedule some time reach out to Dana at Vanda.life, all right? Or if you've got her direct number, just text her and say, hey, just schedule some time, and then she'll go through the process of what it is and how much time you need, and if there is an exchange or not. It's all there. It will all be placed in orientation. But the key thing is, get this. Because the way it's been written is to connect you and to help you understand that the planet does make a difference. And right now, I actually write about this right now. The numbers, the symbols, the months, everything as it always is. But this specific month, because it's Virgo and it's all in the details and it's organizing, and it's September and it's the 13th of the space, and the number and the symbology of this beginning gives you the life, it gives you death, and it gives you rebirth. And that is exactly what it is. You're right now saying goodbye to some aspects of your life. It is what it is. Okay, you're right now, reintegrating a new life. But for a new life, you have to acknowledge what you are living, so that you are the one that can see, what is it that I want, and what I've asked for. Do I still want it? Because if you still want that couch that you asked for, are you still having the old couch at home? Does that make sense? There's no space. There's no space for that. So in the space, Virgo's coming in and helping you organize your closets, your cupboard, your fridge, your mindset, your treasure box, your dream box, and all those things, so that you're able to line things up. Understand what this new moon is about, who's influencing it, because there is an influence, okay? And most important, the planets that are coming in and how you are responding to it. And I tell you, yes, this is a time for water. Yes, this is a time to write and burn. Yes, this is a time to take care of you. Why? Because the old has to go. And there's nothing that gets stickier and one comfortable in releasing an old habit. Okay, guys? Have a happy and great new moon. Okay? Stay connected, stay tuned. Share this thread of light with you and your family. And you know what? Bring a friend on board, because there's nothing greater than having your best friends be on the same page as you. All right.